I fell into the water at the same time as Bai Yu Guan. Ryan Carter gave up on me. I choose to save Bai Yu Guan. I limped ashore behind. Divorced him. Ryan Carter was puzzled. Amanda White doesn't know water. I'm going to save him. As for you, my 5-year-old son also looked indifferent. Bon, you're okay again. You have to be this little family. I gave Ryan Carter a backhand slap. He twisted his son's face and sneered. Is 4? I'm just so kiddie. Ryan Carter was hit on the head. The corners of your mouth move slightly when you turn your head. Suppressing anger. Elamore, can you calm down? Lucas Carter is young, mying and shouting and struggling. No wondered add. But Amanda White won't save you. You're a vicious woman. You deserve to fall into the water. I dragged Fant Ing's legs. There was also a slap in the face to his ass. I'm just a vicious woman. You go find Amanda White to be your mother. Amanda White pushed me away. Distressed lie. He hugged Lucas Carter in his arms. In my sight, he laughed defiantly at Elamore. A child is still young. It's all angry talk. How can you hit him? Lucas Carter hides in Amanda White's arms. He shouted hoarsely. I didn't say anything angry. I don't want him to be my mother. He's so stupid that he can't ride a horse. Won't golf. It's not as good as Aunt Amanda White. Dad didn't like him. I don't like him either. However, before Lucas Carter could tell more truth, Ryan Carter ordered him. Lucas Carter is not allowed to mess around. Let's talk about it. He stood in front of them as a guardian, crying grapefruit. Gentle mother. Yeah, father. It's really a family of 3 who love each other. Not to mention that Amanda White is still talking about tea. Why is this kid so cute and sensible? I am reluctant to do it. You're so damn ruthless. I curled the corners of my mouth and stared at him. Say it coldly. You say it again. Believe it or not. The neck flap is on your face. Looking at Amanda White's smiling face, he instantly stiffened, sneered and slammed the scumbag and the piece of char siu was left on the beach. Turn away. The next day, I handed Ryan Carter the divorce agreement. He frowned and pushed the gold-rimmed glasses on the bridge of his nose. Tired face. If you make too much trouble, it won't end well. No fuss. Let's sign it. The property is severed by prenuptial agreement. As for the custody of Lucas Carter, it is yours. Lucas Carter inherited Ryan Carter's ruthlessness. Not loving me, rather than forced to stay with me. Let him follow Ryan Carter. Ryan Carter put the divorce agreement down. He looked down at me. The cold face was full of puzzlement. Just for yesterday's incident. Amanda White doesn't know water. I'm going to save him. You're okay again. As for the trouble to the point of divorce. He righteously blamed me for yesterday's events. As long as I didn't die in that overboard. And he took possession. Yesterday, Ryan Carter and I took Lucas Carter to the beach. Ryan Carter left for a while. That's it. He brought Amanda White with him. He said he had met Amanda White on the road. Look at him alone. He brought him here. In my ugly countenance. Lucas Carter, who has always been cold and only clings to me, with a happy face. He threw himself into Amanda White's arms. Aunt Amanda White. Though it has only been a day. But I miss you so much. It was at that moment. I just knew. Ryan Carter and Amanda White have always been in touch. Even Ryan Carter took Lucas Carter to meet Amanda White. More than once. I looked at Ryan Carter. His face was ugly. Explained to me in a panic. I went to pick up Xiaozu from school. Met Amanda White a few times. He has no words of 300 taels of silver here. Makes my heart sink. Later, the beach turned into big waves. Amanda White and I were caught up in the wave at the same time. The tide is not high. The big waves that roll up will not sweep people to the bottom of the sea. It was like a test of his sincerity. Let Ryan Carter choose between me and Amanda White. He forgot about me. It's his wife. Forget that I had the pain in my leg that saved him. He left me behind without hesitation. Choose to save Amanda White. So he's asking me now. As for it, of course, he and Lucas Carter could not love me. But I can't help but love myself. I looked him in the eye. Word by word, Rhetorical question. What if something happened to me? If I dragged that lame leg? I didn't get up from the waves. Ryan Carter. I can stand here and ask you for a divorce. It's because I'm alive. Ryan Carter opened his mouth. Words speak faster than brains. But you're not alive. The words are not finished yet. He didn't feel right. Stop talking. He looked away in embarrassment. Take a deep breath. He was trying to persuade me. The words spoken are threatened. But leave me. You have no father and no mother. And where to go? I smiled. Pushed the protocol forward. You don't care. Knit. And you should repay me for saving my life. Ryan Carter is a proud man. He hated me for threatening him with life-saving graces. He was also sure that I would not leave my son behind. He thought I was throwing a tantrum, and after I mentioned the grace of saving lives. His face turned pale. With a cold face. Opening your mouth and closing your mouth is a life-saving shot. Leave and leave, but leave behind. I wouldn't agree to remarry so easily. During this time, you go outside and reflect on it. Later, I got my divorce certificate. Back to the wedding room where I lived for 7 years. Go pack up what belongs to me. The house is huge. Stuff a lot. But there are only bits and pieces that belong to me. I looked around at the big and small, or expensive or delicate items. Eventually, I took out my artboard from the attic. Put it on your back. Out of this villa. At the gate of the courtyard, I saw Lucas Carter standing on the balcony on the 2nd floor. The corners of his mouth twitched. The small face was as cold as ice. He just looked at me quietly. He probably wished I could do the same. Come forward and coax him. Kiss him and apologize to him. I stopped, glancing back at him. Finally sighed. Turning around, he whispered to him and told him to eat well. Sleep well. Mom won't be with you anymore. You have to take good care of yourself. Lucas Carter's eyes were red. Turning his head. He snorted coldly and wanted to go. Anyway, Antamina White will take care of me in the future. I'm not unfamiliar with you. I paused. Didn't speak again. As the sun set, I left the villa with my skid spot on my back. Lucas Carter wasn't like that before. Amanda White didn't come back before. Lie sweet and lovely. When there are friends who think I can't ride a horse, and laughing at her for playing golf, she would always retort with a serious face. It won't be like that. Is my mom. She just needs to love me enough. Until after Amanda White returned home, Ryan Carter took her to meet him and a White a few times. It was like a different person. She has always loved me only for her. I started to dislike that I wasn't from a high background. Didn't let me pick her up from kindergarten. When his friends came to play at the house, he told me to go out and hide from me. Even I cried on the day of my parents' death. He would keep a cold face and accuse me of not being graceful enough. Now think about it. Dee and Ryan Carter are father and son in the same vein. Like the same people. It's the same with nasty people. Like Amanda White. Like hating me. After finding out that Ryan Carter didn't love me. Tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. I can't stand the betrayal. But I can't bear Lucas Carter. He hates me. But it made my reluctance feel like a joke. Your road out of the villa area is not long. I used it for 7 years. Walk on the path in the glow of the sun. Suddenly, I remembered the past. 15 years ago, my father died saving Ryan Carter's father. The mother was sad and depressed. When I was young, I came to Pay's house. Ryan Carter is the only son of the Pay family. It's an indispensable young master. But when he was young, he was very kind to me. So good that I like him wishfully. Until he fell in love with Amanda White. In love with him. That's when I buried this love in my heart. Even if he later broke up with Amanda White, or no longer tried to be with him, but after I saved him in an accident. But he came to provoke me. With the support of Pay's father and Pay's mother, he began to pursue me. He was someone I loved for years when I was younger. I couldn't give up my heart on him. Finally, under his persistent pursuit, he was with him. Get married step by step. Gives birth to Lucas Carter. I thought we would be together for the rest of our lives. Amanda White's return to China shattered my dreams. 3 months ago, I went to pick him up when he was drunk. The door of the box I heard his friend mention Amanda White. Amanda White returned home. What do you think? He held his head in one hand. The other hand shook the wine glass. The corners of his mouth were a helpless smile. What can you think? I'm married. Friends ask about good things. What if it's not over? I want you to love each other so much at the beginning. You love him so much that you almost died for him. Lucas Carter smiled wryly. What nonsense are you talking about? Oh, forgot. It was your wife's lame leg that saved you. It's also for this kindness. You can't betray your wife either. The wry smile on Ryan Carter's lips was enough to make me dazzle. I didn't dare to step forward. That's when I learned that he had never loved me. He felt nothing but guilt for me. I was trapped by him with lies for 7 years. It's not too late. In the glow of the sun, I'm going to be free again. I stayed in the hotel I was looking for. At night, I received a call from Pei's father and Pei's mother. They didn't know that Pei Xuan and I had divorced, and asked me with concern when to take Lucas Carter back to the old house for dinner. Remembered Pei's father's high blood pressure. I swallowed the words that came to my lips, and Ryan Carter was divorced. He only shook his head and said that something had happened recently. After the phone hangs up, I messaged to Ryan Carter. Your parents just called and asked when I was going back to the old house. I fooled around this time, but you still tell them as soon as possible. We're already divorced. It's been a long time. He messaged back. After knowing that I have done what I have done is the most righteous and righteous. Ryan Carter never had anything to do with me anymore. I thought about it. Completely blacked out his contact information. A night, I stroked the sketch spot as I had brought out of the villa. I remember the wish I made in my parents' arms when I was a child. I want to be a good painter when I grow up. Mom and Dad touched my head, laughing lovingly. We Elmore grew up. It will definitely be the best and best painter. But then I entered the Pei family, but he never picked up the brush again. At that time, Pei's father and Pei's mother persuaded me meaningfully. Elmore learns this well. Pei Xuan also learned this. It's no wonder that I'm not firm when I'm young. I was dazzled by a landscape that didn't belong to me. I give up on this path. I take a path that doesn't belong to you. And this has long been yellowed on the drawing board, like a dream I've forgotten, no matter how I wiped. The stain is still there. Thankfully. It's been a long time. Stains will also fade. Look at the artboard that lights up visibly. I ended up laughing. I found a paintbrush that I bought from the shop in the evening. Press on the drawing paper, trying to re-outline the nib of the childhood, and kissing on the drawing paper. A phone rings out of time. The numbers are familiar. It's Ryan Carter's assistant to Xiao Yang. Madam, Mr. Pei was drunk at the party. I'm clamoring to see you. Would it be convenient for you to come and pick him up now? Ryan Carter used to get drunk and ask me to pick him up. His assistant used to calling me. But now, he and I are divorced. I put down my paintbrush. The voice is soft, but it's very firm and inconvenient. And you, Mr. Pei, have divorced. But please don't call me again in the future. Suddenly, there was the sound of items breaking on the phone. I paused. Go on and you can flip one. Or is a person named Amanda White on your mobile phone. She is more suitable than me to pick you up, Mr. Pei. When I'm going to hang up, suddenly, there was a strange sound on the other end of the phone. The next second, Ryan Carter's hoarse voice of anger came from the earpiece. Elmore, do you really care about me? You think I'm hallucinating? After all, a cheating person. But it can't be so straightforward. I chuckled. I said goodbye to Yongshu. Yawned up the phone. I picked up the brush again. Smear the hustle and bustle on the drawing paper. Went to bed late at night. So much so that I was woken up by a ringing phone. The tone is inevitably resentful. But to call early in the morning, the voice of the villa housekeeper and entrang on the other end of the phone. He said cautiously to Elmore. Xiao Zhu is sick. Xuan went out early in the morning. A phone didn't get through. Can you come back and see Xiao Zhu? Hear the news that Lucas Carter is sick. I felt anxious. After all, no mother heard the news of her child's illness. He is also calm. Even if that kid doesn't love me. I froze for a few seconds. immediately said eagerly. I immediately went over to see him. When I saw him in Lucas Carter's room, he was lying alone in bed. I felt a little distressed. Strode over to the bed. Reach out and touch his forehead. It's uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable. When Lucas Carter saw me. Redness of the eye sockets. The expression flashed with grievance for a moment. Can be a second. And he knocked my hand off. He rolled up the quilt. Overshadowed. Wang muttered angrily and left. Why did you come back? You shouldn't have come back. Lucas Carter rarely got sick from a young age. Look at his fragile look. My heart, which had been hardened a while ago, suddenly softened. I sat on the edge of the bed. Reach out and pull his quilt down slightly, lest he have trouble breathing. Then I saw his little red face. When red, swollen eye sockets full of tears. I was stunned for a moment. Remorse instantly permeated my heart. Lucas Carter? He was only 5 years old. He understands something. He hated me being close to Amanda White as well, under the influence of Peijuan. He's like a blank slate. What he looks like. It's all thought by the people around you. Why should I be with a 5-year-old child? Mind that. The more I thought about it, the more sorry I felt. His voice couldn't help choking Xiaozu. Mom, I'm sorry for you. Mom shouldn't want you. Leave you here. Yes. I can't leave Lucas Carter to Ryan Carter. He's so young. There is still a chance for everything to be corrected. The more I thought about it, the more firm my voice became. I leaned over and hugged Lucas Carter. Warm channel Lucas Carter. How are you doing with your mother? Mom will renegotiate your custody with Dad. And I could feel Lucas Carter's inner loosening. He even rubbed his head into my arms, as if that well-behaved and caring Lucas Carter is back. Lucas Carter has been in my arms for a long time. He said goodbye to the urn. You can't get custody of me. I touched his head soothingly. A tone is firm and the mother gets her share of the property. And Daddy for you. Lucas Carter pushed my reddened eyes away and met my eyes. He said the most cruel words in the most childish voice. Mom, don't be Navi. Followed Addie. I have an aunt to take care of. And there are luxury cars. I also studied in a prestigious school. But follow your words. You can't give me anything. Besides, Daddy won't give me to you. With me. You can't even leave this house. I was silent for a moment. The voice is choked in the throat. Difficulty and throughput. Mom will try to negotiate with your dad. Lucas Carter grimaced. A cold interruption interrupted my pale struggle. Mom, I'm not going to go with you, and you don't fit in. Amanda White. When Auntie returns, you should give way to her. You go. Don't come back here. I don't want to see you again. My mom will be Amanda White in the future. Auntie, this is not the first time I've heard these words. But I still feel heartache. I was in tears. I was looking at it in a daze. This is the child I gave birth to in October. He tilted his head to the side. The little finger points to the door as you go out. I don't want to see you again. I didn't move. I just looked at him. The next second, he threw the cup next to the bed at my feet. Flying pieces of porcelain cut my ankle. The bloodline is shallow. And the tingling pain in the ankle came. I suddenly felt remorse when I walked in the door. Like a joke. Lucas Carter. He wasn't influenced by Ryan Carter. He was born cold-blooded and cold-hearted. And don't like me. I took 2 steps back. Turned and left his room. When stepping out of the doorway, I couldn't help but go back and say Lucas Carter. Mom is gone. It's really not going to come back. What I answered was the sound of another cup shattering. I wiped away my tears. This time I left without looking back. On the way out, I met Aunt Housekeeper. She looked at me worriedly. I looked into Lucas Carter's room again. Did Xiaozi make you angry again? I shook my head. Whispered to her that I made him angry. And the aunt. Don't look for me about him in the future. He didn't want to see me. With that, I strode away. Leave the housekeeper and aunt far behind. I heard him say this kid in a trance. How could it not be that I love you? He shouts your name in his dreams. I wiped away the tears that were about to fall. Shook his head. How could it be? He told me again and again. He doesn't need me. In the way back, look at the familiar sight on the street. I suddenly felt that the city was strange and terrifying. Along the way, the phone kept vibrating. It's an unfamiliar number. When it came on, it was Ryan Carter's voice. Eleanor and Jiazu are both sick. Why don't you stay with him? I scoffed. Hatred welled up in Ryan Carter's heart. It's all as you wish. Jiazu doesn't want me here. Mom, you must be very proud right now, Ryan Carter anxiously explained. The voice was rapid. I didn't mean that. Unjust. I just want him not to hate Amanda White. I no longer hold back my emotions. He roared hoarsely. So you chose to make him hate me, Eleanor? I didn't mean that. I want Jiazu to accept Amanda White. That way you won't be so repulsive about him. I sneered. Interrupt him. Ryan Carter. You tell me. Why should I take Amanda White? Accept a woman who intervenes in my marriage? Ryan Carter was silent for a long time. For a long time, I lost the desire to quarrel with her. I hung up, looking out the window at the street trees flashing by. I suddenly didn't want to be in the city. I clutched my phone. Speak to the driver in the front row. Master, do you pick up the long distance? I want to go to the border town. That's where my parents lived. I miss them. Submitted my resignation. Went back to the hotel to get my luggage. Went to the border city. I admit I'm a coward. I'm afraid I'm not determined. The follow-up will be compromised for Lucas Carter. In that hopeless abyss. After all, when I was young, I lost my paintbrush for my secret crush. I haven't picked it up again for more than 10 years. Occasionally, when melancholy, I will also take out my sketch spot and wipe it. Hesitant to start over. Can be every time. Are all defeated in the busy work. And Lucas Carter shouted to his mom one after another. Now, after the divorce, these shackles no longer exist. It felt like a new life. Maybe I owe a debt of gratitude to Lucas Carter. He is more attached. I guess I'm still struggling in the abyss. Now, it's all for the best. I'm going to bring the sketch spot. In the border city, I can find my young self little by little. I rented a cottage in the border town. Start your own journey to live alone. The color of life is like the color in an oil painting. Gorgeous and free. I spend the day going out with my sketch spot on my back. A day of reading in a hut at night. On the way to sketch, I also made a group of strange friends. Most of them are retired aunts and uncles, or a student in a nearby art examination class. We never meet, but it is always unexpected in the beautiful place. Then paint together. Turquoise lake. Golden leaves. In a glowing evening. The first. I couldn't draw well. Whenever someone walks by me, I'm always secretive. I'm afraid people will laugh at me. Later, I painted more. I'm not afraid. People are always trying to make mistakes. Wrong isn't terrible. What I'm afraid of is that I don't have the courage to start over. That's why I don't make sense anymore. I can also confidently put up an easel. May little more correction. Today's autumn view by the lake. One is when the painting was first completed. I wasn't satisfied. Bright colors are not enough. Lack of chiaroscuro. Jing Yijing also lacks association. But I didn't give it up. I pulled out my paintbrush. Paint one stroke at a time, trying to correct it into the scene in my mind. Until the sun sets. I rubbed my aching waist, put down the brush with a sense of relief. I stared at the painting in front of me. And I finally smiled with satisfaction. It's done. It's really good. It's a lot better than what you drew before. At first I thought the girl had collapsed. I was afraid that she would be as shy and secretive as she had when she first arrived. I didn't dare to look at it. I didn't expect it to be so good later. I looked up. I don't know when there is a group of uncles and aunts around him. They commented on my paintings. They were affirming my progress. Complained about the shy cover I was when I first came. Encouraged me to keep trying. And I was surrounded in the middle. Pursed her lips. Laughed. Right? Even if you make a mistake. The pen in my hand doesn't stop. He always follows my heart. Modify it to what I want. Even if it's hard. Even if the end result is not so good. And I'm always moving forward. Go in the direction I want. So it is with my life. In the border towns. Autumn is short. In the blink of an eye. Snowflakes rose in the air. Everyone who is cold has reduced the number of times they go out to sketch. I also started to draw for fun at home. In order to record your progress, I started a faceless live stream while I was drawing. I often talk cast room. This color doesn't seem to be used correctly. Gotta use this. Yes. The picture is much more harmonious this way. Hey. This Diarcherosi is not bad either. I'm a genius. The live broadcast has been open for a long time. I've also amassed hundreds of followers. They used to be when I was drawing. Come and chat with me in my live broadcast room. Listen to me. There are two ideas that are particularly familiar to me. One is called Stars. The other is called Baby. Fanxing was one of my first fans after the broadcast. The Baby came more than a month after the broadcast. A reason why I know them both well. They love to tip me. I can't persuade you. Is the first and second in my live broadcast room. And they seem to know each other. Often quarrel in the live broadcast room. The smell of starried Addy is very strong. While affirming me, I like to judge me for a word or two. Babies are much cuter. Even if I missed the wrong draw. He also closed his eyes and praised me for how well I painted. That's why babies are often dissatisfied with my judgment because of the stars. The two went for ad in the live broadcast room. Quarrels from time to time. Baby. Do you know how to draw? That's the pointer. Do less annoying things. Stars are better than imps who don't have a primary school diploma. Babies talk a lot. Deserves to have no wife. Stars. Well, your mother ran away too. I watched their conversations during breaks to pass the time. But they quarreled, and defending me. They are united in one line. When someone comes to the live broadcast room to make trouble, when I show my face and insult me, they always bombarded the hecklers in unison. Maintain my live room. The reason I started live streaming wasn't to make money. Therefore, the live broadcast room is maintained dispensable. But when they defend me, I'm still impressed. To thank them for their maintenance, I offered to give them a painting that I had drawn with my own hands as a gift. I smiled and asked them to send me the address. But the backstage has been as quiet as a chicken. I thought they had something to do and walked away. I sent them messages separately. Thank you for always supporting me. If you don't dislike it, you can leave an address. I'm sending you one of my favorite paintings in recent times. That day, they didn't send a message in the live broadcast room until I'm almost off the air. I just received the address from them. Coincidentally, they have the same address. It's also a coincidence. A city they were in was the one I fled. I stared at their ideas. A ridiculous conjecture came to mind. And then I couldn't help but laugh. How could it be their father and son? The two of them are now estimated to be newly married. Another. It is estimated that in the celebration of having a noble birth mother, the next day, I went out in the snow. I went to the local market. I bought a famous specialty of the border city, then put those specialties in promised words. I sent it to both of them together. And after returning home, I'm not in a hurry to take a lunch break. Instead, the live broadcast was opened. I set up the art board. I once suspected that the stars didn't need to work. As soon as I start broadcasting, he was always the first to arrive. To say hello to me. On the contrary, the baby is more like a student party. Most of the time only at night. I looked up at the live broadcast room. I've already sent out a greeting picture in response to the stars. You go back and talk to your baby. With that, I continued to look down and draw my picture. And I went out today. I saw a picture of happiness on the snow, a laughing hearty dad, mom with a red scarf, and the round baby who is being led and warmed by them. Falling snowflakes. Soft snow. A happy family of 3 is very much like the past. Of parents and me. That's when I thought I'd have to paint this scene when I came back. I was intently scribbling on the paper. Paint what is in my mind. Jingle bells. Doorbells are ringing. I frowned. Put down my paintbrush and opened the door. There was a neighbor's brother standing at the door. He smiled heartily. A mouthful of white teeth is exposed. Miss Sue, I saw your courier at the express station. Look, It's a bag of rice. It looks pretty heavy. I'll help you deliver it to your door by the way. I looked at the bag of rice he was carrying. I remembered the fragrant rice I bought online the day before yesterday. I thanked you gratefully. You have to take the bag and drag it into the house. Van Miller was enthusiastic. Pull the rice bag and don't let go. Where are you going to put it? I'll let you go into the house. I smiled sheepishly, point to the kitchen and asked him to help me put it. Then he gratefully asked him for water. I took out the fruit I bought today from the refrigerator, slid into his arms. Yeah. Thank you again. After everything is done. I went back to the easel. When your eyes skim across the screen, I saw dense crowds on the screen. It's all messages from the stars. A man comes into your house. Who is he? What is he doing here? What is the relationship between him and you? I looked down and fiddled with my phone. Found out that he sent me a lot in the background as well. It's all unceremonious questioning. The last one is Elmore speaking. Who the hell is he? I blinked. His identity was confirmed. The stars are really Ryan Carter. That baby should be Lucas Carter. I didn't answer his question. Directly closed the live broadcast room. I don't understand what they mean now. It can't be after I'm gone. They finally found out about me. So, then they're too cheap. After that, I didn't go live for a few days. Fortunately, I didn't fill in the specific address when I planned it. They really have their brains pumping. They want to find me. It will take a while. But I didn't expect to see them again so soon. It's a nest at home. Few days. When I was ready to go out for a walk, and I opened the door, I saw Ryan Carter. He stood in the doorway, leading Lucas Carter, one large and one small, stared straight at me. I poured Lucas Carter a cup of hot water, sit face to face with Ryan Carter. I looked at him with a cold expression, gazed at the room with a plain face. Why come to me? Lucas Carter holds a glass at the side, sitting on the sofa with a cold face. I couldn't help but laugh at the look on their faces. After making sure there were no other men in the house, Page One frowned and raised slightly. He looked at me. A tone as soft and Elmore. Long time no see. You okay? I frowned. Don't talk nonsense. Xiaothu. It's almost winter vacation. He wants to come and see you. The Lucas Carter is the child I gave birth to. It doesn't matter if he likes me or not. I have the responsibility to support him as a minor. I turned my gaze to Lucas Carter. Whisper that you want to come to my place. Lucas Carter took a sip of hot water, shaking his head with a small face. He didn't want to. My dad forced me to come. He bowed my head and smiled wryly, and then he looked sarcastically at Ryan Carter. Don't use children as an excuse. Ryan Carter looked displeased. The voice was cold. Lucas Carter, you speak well to me. I'm really impatient. Watch him reprimand the child. Sneered and interrupted. Don't act with me. Tulso, we're divorced. You shouldn't bother me anymore. The child wants to come during the winter and summer vacations. Please have someone send him over. As for you, I don't think there's any need for us to meet again. Ryan Carter's lips moved, while Elmore's expression suddenly became decadent. I can't figure it out. I didn't cheat on Amanda White. I was just friends with him. I can't guarantee the overboard. There's no next time. I will definitely put you first in everything in the future. Why do you want to divorce me? You loved me so much. I was lame to save me. Yeah, what's wrong with you? He exhaled slowly. Turn your head to look at him. You and me. Is it true that you are married because you love me? If you really love me, and Amanda White and I fell overboard, why did you choose to save him in the first place? Why did you take Lucas Carter to play with him again? Keep telling me to accept him. Ryan Carter. Don't tarnish the word love. It's disgusting. Under Ryan Carter's increasingly pale complexion, I couldn't help but vent my grievances over the years. Ryan Carter, I loved you when I was younger, but I risked my life. The purpose of getting you out of the car. Not to move you. Replace it with a stranger in danger. I'll save it too. But Ryan Carter. What did you do? You obviously don't love me. But because of guilt. He pretended to love me. But do you think you're making amends to me? Do you still feel that you are particularly wrong? When my parents were alive, you taught me all the time. Let me be a kind person. But you know what? In knowing that you pursue me, you married me because of guilt. But I regret that I saved you in the first place. Ryan Carter looked at me dumbfounded, wetness of the eyes. No, I love you too. Nah, I'm just a little late in waking up. I took a deep breath, pointing to the door. That's not about me anymore. Please don't bother me anymore. First to come out was Lucas Carter. Before the door, he looked at me deeply. I couldn't help but feel a stir. Speak to keep him. Lucas Carter, would you like to stay with me for a few days? That glance is clearly full of attachment, but he still rejected categorically. Not to talk. I never lived in such a small house. His cold words. Let me see the attachment to me in his eyes. It's like an illusion. After they are gone, I had my back to the door. I sighed with mixed feelings. If Lucas Carter were to stay, I am bound to have something to do with Peijuan. If it weren't for his ruthlessness again and again, I will be bound forever. Later, I moved a few more times. Home. Ryan Carter still found me. After all, his family has a big business. My message should be transparent in his eyes. Once I figured it out, I stopped being obsessed with moving. Instead, he chose to treat him as nothing. After he sent Lucas Carter home, the dead skin haunts me. He used to follow me as I walked. A person's self-conscious sensationalism. Lamore used to walk like this when we were younger. Now it's like going back to when I was a kid, when I was invited by my aunt and uncle to sketch. He also drove all the way to follow. I paint with a paintbrush. He watched quietly. After I finished drawing, say a few words as usual when you came to my house as a child, just carrying a sketchpad on his back. It's like this piece now. He thought you liked to draw. I haven't seen you draw it since. I didn't expect you to start drawing again after many years. Uncle and aunt asked me Xiaozu with a smile behind my back. Is this your boyfriend? I shook my head. Seriously? No. He is my ex-husband. We're divorced. He's pestering me. Then I put the cause and effect of his divorce. I told them about it. The uncle and aunt were indignant when they heard this. When Ryan Carter followed me to sketch again, they worked together to isolate him from me. They were looking at Ryan Carter. Not noses. Eyes are not eyes. Right on his face that he won't want to see him. I was moved. Asked them not to do so. He was soon back. It doesn't have to be this way. Besides, I've put it down. I'm right. Ryan Carter was quick to go back, because of the urging of the company's affairs. Before leaving, he looked at me earnestly. Promise me that I will come to you when I am done with this time. I love you. I smiled and didn't speak. It doesn't matter how many times he comes. I'm not going back. His belated love is like expired fermented milk to me. The smell is disgusting. And then he did as he said. With Lucas Carter, came to me a few times. He also tried to convince me with Lucas Carter. Let me remarry him. Can you bear to watch Xiaozu grow up in a single-parent family? You love him so much. Why not give him the best? However, his ex-wife's brainwashing of Lucas Carter was too good. Lucas Carter lifted his eyelids. Coldly authentic. Cad. You can marry Antamina White or someone else. Be a mother to me. Ryan Carter glared at Lucas Carter. I couldn't help but chuckle. Then closed the door. Keep them out. Lucas Carter dismantled the table more. Ryan Carter stopped bringing him in. He traveled back and forth between the border city and the capital city alone. He used to talk to me about his apologies and love. I was unmoved, sometimes even laughing. In time, he came a lot less. Up to the 5th year. Somehow he didn't come anymore. Maybe it's boring. Has nothing to do with me, though. Because then, I have become a well-known oil painter in China. I also fell in love with Ethan Miller at the time. And after I decided to marry Ethan Miller, Lucas Carter came to me for the first time. He was 12 years old, like a little adult. He handed me a bouquet of red roses. His eyes are dark and dark. Mom, I wish you happiness and success in the future. With that, he shoved the flower into my arms. He turned away without looking back. Watching his back leave, I took the hand of the man next to me. I was a little stunned. Haven't seen you in a long time. He seems to have grown up a lot. The man put his arm around my waist. He patted my hand soothingly. Well, time flies. Later on my wedding day, I met Lucas Carter again. In the eve of the wedding, I invited him. He did not refuse. There was no promise. He thought he wasn't coming. But that day he was wearing a small black suit. I was holding a white wedding dress. Step by step to the groom on stage. After giving my hand to the groom, Lucas Carter leaned into the groom's ear, threatened him in a low voice. People who fail my mom won't end well. The last one was already lying in the hospital. You give me a little care. The groom hurriedly shook his head, reassuring him. I love her forever. Protect her. I swear with my life. I turned to look at Lucas Carter. At this time, he had a plain face, red eyes, viciously threatened others not to bully me. I couldn't help but cry. Maybe Lucas Carter wasn't really disgusted with me back then. And after all, he really loves me at the age of 5. Perhaps his love is fulfilled. Ryan Carter married for 7 years. Amanda White is back. I'll admit I'm a little shaken. After all, he was the unforgettable lover I loved when I was younger, and I never wanted to be separated from Elmore, but again overboard. I subconsciously saved Amanda White first. Elmore filed for divorce with me. I panicked for a moment, but when I think he doesn't have anywhere to go, he was relieved again. He loved me for so many years. There's no way he's going to leave me. And then there's Lucas Carter. That was his most beloved son. After his birth, even I had to retreat. So I'm sure he's just angry. It'll be fine after a while. After all, he wasn't going to let Lucas Carter go away from me. But this time I made the wrong bet. Elmore, he really doesn't want me anymore. Not even Lucas Carter wanted it. I called him drunk. Let him pick me up. I think it's been a few days. He must have deflated. He'll be sure to come up this staircase to pick me up. But he didn't. And he again and again. I repeatedly emphasized that he and I were divorced. I suddenly had a panic that things were out of my control. That night, I went home dejected. When in the living room, I saw Lucas Carter, playing with the Rubik's Cube that Elmore bought him. After seeing me come home, he lifted his eyelids and gave me a cold look. He lowered his head again. That moment, a brilliant idea occurred to me. I took it at night. Lucas Carter's quilt didn't work out the next day. He caught a cold. I don't believe Elmore will let go of the sick Lucas Carter. He will definitely come. I happily asked my aunt to call Elmore, lest Elmore see me angry. He also hid. Before I go out, I told Lucas Carter to let him stay with Elmore. Lucas Carter raised his flushed face. There was a silent hum. I went out satisfied. I think it won't be long before that. Elmore should be back for Lucas Carter. Please let me remarry. But once again, I miscalculated. Elmore didn't come back. He left the city and went to his parents' homeland. I also realized that I might really be losing him. Later I had a private investigator look up his address. I found him in love with oil painting. I started to have friends of my own. He even opened a live broadcast room. My blindly optimistic conjecture. Maybe he'll come back after he gets his mind away. So I went to watch his live stream every day. Lucas Carter also went every night when he found out. I think he probably had the same idea as me. He also wants Elmore back. After all, Elmore isn't just mad at me. Otherwise, Lucas Carter wouldn't have been able to keep her. I'm like the farmer who waits for the rabbit. Expect her to change her mind. I thought I had enough patience. But when the voice of a young man came from her live broadcast room, I found that I couldn't bear it. I impotently and angrily questioned who her man was. What does it have to do with her? Elmore ignored me. He closed the live broadcast room directly. He must know who I am. More serious than that, he still won't forgive me. I realized that I couldn't sit still any longer. I bought a plane ticket, took Lucas Carter with him to the border city. On the plane, I told Lucas Carter to keep his mother. Lucas Carter looked at me and shook his head with a sneer. I shook his shoulder and asked, do you want your mom to grow up with you? Lucas Carter looked out the window at the clouds. The voice was immature and cold. You are not good to him. Compared to staying with me, now I want him to be free. I was stunned, and my eyes were about to split. No way. He can only be mine. Lucas Carter has a high IQ. Since childhood, he has had his own opinions. He stared at me coldly. Give up. He's already disappointed in you, and I'm not going to help you restrain him. Later, we met Ellamore. Lellamore, as Lucas Carter says, rejected me. He also lives up to what he says. He didn't persuade Ellamore to go home, even used hurtful words to push Ellamore farther and farther away. I'm not willing to let go. I stalked him, but he sees me as nothing. Until the 5th year after our divorce, I couldn't get caught up. I was very sick. Lucas Carter sneered at my bedside. He scolded me for deserving it. I struggled to get out of my hospital bed. I stared at him for a long time. Did you deliberately make him angry in the first place? He has no nostalgia for our family. Lucas Carter is only 10 years old, but it is very precocious. He gave me a cold look. The voice is cold. Woman, 5 years ago, after returning home, my mother cried many times behind your back, especially at night, after he put me to sleep. It was very sad to hold me and cry. He wants a divorce, but he couldn't bear me, because he knows you're not going to give him custody of me. He struggled in pain for a long time. During that time, I was much more emaciated. You love him so much. Since he wants to leave, then I'll let him go without burden. You're right. I did it on purpose. But isn't the source of everything because of you? Looking at him precociously, I was stunned for a long time. I'll just say, how could Lucas Carter suddenly change his character? But he's always clinging to Ellamore. Love him and stick to him. How can you hate him because of a few words from outsiders? Be mean to him. It turns out that everything is traceable. He did it but Ellamore leave without burden. The heart stings at the same time. I can't help but be sarcastic. But you've lost him. Lucas Carter smiled. Well, that's a laugh in front of Ellamore. It's good that he's happy. Oh, good news for you. He's going to get married in a while. He asked me to go to his wedding. The patient's heartbeat is abnormal. What did you say to irritate the patient? Get out now. He needs to be rescued. In the midst of chaos, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the nurse and doctor running towards me. Lucas Carter, on the other hand, was calm after being reprimanded, leisurely walked out of the ward. After that, I couldn't hear anything. I can't see it either. Boundless darkness and silence came to me. I'm really starting to regret it. If you can go back to the beginning, I'll definitely save Ellamore first. That way he won't leave me again. Lucas Carter. Ryan Carter passed away when I was 15 years old. After his death, I slowly took over the company with the help of my grandfather. And after successfully taking over the company, I hit Lingia to death. The woman who made my mother sad in the first place ran to me to intercede. She kept telling me to see the love of my childhood. Let go of the Lin family. What kind of relationship did I have with her when I was a child? Makes my mom sad. Let me leave my mother's affection. I shook my head coldly. Hit the Lin family even harder. Later, the Lin family went bankrupt. I took over his family's company. After knowing that Amanda White was saddled with hundreds of millions of debts, I was merciful enough to keep her in the company to pay off her debts. He also deliberately put the employees he had bullied, dispatched as his boss. But within a few years, he couldn't stand it anymore and committed suicide. It's so boring. In fact, the days of learning to manage a company are painful. But if I don't study, I can't protect my mother. I want to give mom the best of everything. Once upon a time, pushing away my mother was to make her happy. Now studying hard is to ensure her happiness. Even if she and her current husband hurt her the way Ryan Carter did in the past, I can also use everything I have. Give him a haven of protection, instead of pretending to be indifferent as he did when he was a child. Let him leave sadly. After all, he loved me so much. I can't afford to make him sad anymore when I'm growing up. End of full text.